Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
She's Jaylyn.
And he's Monty.
So buckle your seatbelts and get ready to take a trip towards reality.
Can you carry my luggage?
Of course.
Aw, thanks.
No problemo.
Well, we have made it to June 2026. It's been fascinatingly fast for me. Just so fast, but you know, I guess that's what happens as you get older. Everything just speeds up.
Seems that way. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the natural way of things.
Yeah, I always thought it would go the
that.
other way, but
What?
I thought it would slow down.
Oh.
Maybe when I'm 90.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, so we were thinking about subjects and themes and pretty much settled in on adaptability. What is adaptability? I have to say, I think what's so interesting about this is as humans, I think we are the most adaptable species on the planet.
For sure. Absolutely.
Maybe, and cats, maybe.
Yeah, one of my old buddies, Brian Stoller, used to say that humans are just adapting machines.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
You know, we can deal with anything, sort of. To a point, but we can live in the North Pole. We can live on the equator.
I don't know if we can live in the poles.
Or, there are Eskimos.
Yeah, but they're not in the North Pole.
Right. Well, we can live in like extreme cold and extreme hot. And,
Yeah.
we have the tendency to be able to figure things out and to adapt. And to keep adapting and keep adapting and keep adapting. And it's just so crucial to our overall evolution.
Yeah.
And what are the components of adaptability? I think one of the important variables in being able to adapt is just having a level of acceptance in our mindset.
Yeah.
You know, because if we accept what's in front of us, that gives us clarity and balance from which we can act in ways of how to adapt.
Yeah,
but if we
important.
don't accept what's in front of us,
then we're stuck wrestling with what's in front of us.
Yeah, from a freaked out perspective.
Yeah.
And then we're less effective because we're scared and we're angry, and that fear and anger both have the tendency to give us tunnel vision. So they limit our scope of perception. Those emotions, they disable our minds from seeing all the variables.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. You know, it's like, do we want to disable our minds? No. Not me. Personally. I do sometimes.
Right.
Certainly, we all do. We all get scared. We all
have our triggers.
Angry. Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone without triggers.
Right. It just depends how much time we spend in Triggerville.
Yeah, and how willing we are to accept that we're triggered, accept the situation, get the bird's eye view.
Yeah, right. And if we develop the art of acceptance, then we have the tendency to get less triggered. And we're stronger we're more resilient and effective.
And when you're adapting to changes in your environment and culture and resilience is pretty dang important.
It is. And when I think of like lacking acceptance in my mind, I always see the toddler. Just like throwing a fit because they want something. I don't accept this. I don't accept this. I don't accept. And they just keep throwing a fit. throwing a fit, and maybe they eventually get the toy or whatever. So in some ways we're conditioned to not be accepting because...
Well, we're very much conditioned to not be accepting. I mean, look at our news.
Well, yeah, our news tells us to
not accept the other people.
Yeah, and be freaked out, be angry.
Or to accept them on conditions. I think that's very funny.
Just to demonize each other.
Right.
That's...
In the guise of inclusivity, there's some demonizing of people who are considered... it's just it's all this conditioning that
both
says...
sides demonize.
Right.
Demonize each other.
Exactly.
Those people, it's really interesting when you look at what's happening now, in that the demonization of the other side has gotten to the point, I believe, of kind of what the way the Nazis would demonize like the Russians, and they would see them as subhumans. And because they're subhumans, we can do what we want to them. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And it's like a good thing to do, to be violent or whatever. But I see that in both sides. It's like this dehumanization of the opponent, the red-blue battle. Both sides are demonizing each other, considering each other like subhumans, and then acting accordingly, which is can be, well, obviously leads to violence and not a whole lot of progress.
Yeah, mental wellness issues.
Oh, mental wellness issues. It as a therapist. I see it all the time now.
Yeah.
People struggling, and and we can get out of that through discernment rather than judgment, but discernment isn't possible if we're freaking out. I believe because discernment means seeing all the variables, all the variables that are seeable, and also seeing the new variables as they present themselves and altering our perception of things as new variables come in. And so there's a fluidity in discernment. It's like a scientific exploration, of what's happening. But to be able to actually see the variables, we need to get out. We need acceptance. Because otherwise we don't even see all the variables. And then we have this limited set of variables that we're basing everything on, our thoughts on, our emotions on, and then...
Tunnel vision.
Yeah. And then we engage in anger and judgment. Fear. And let's look at anger a little bit. Anger can... we say things we don't mean sometimes. We do things we don't really mean. When we get taken over, anger's like a fire in our minds. And that fire can spread to other people. And when we're engaging with that fire, and I'm not saying anger is always bad, because I think it is appropriate occasionally, to like defend yourself or whatever that is. But if we engage in it too much, then that fire is just like burning in our minds and spreading. And a lot of people, there's no doubt that a lot of people ruin their lives through anger and the subsequent thoughts and behaviors that naturally follow that.
Yeah. What comes up for me is the Chinese medicine side of it. And I only know of what I know. I am not a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. I simply know it through the medical Qigong I've been training in for a while now.
Future Qigong master.
And the background of that is classical Chinese medicine, which is slightly different than traditional Chinese medicine. And I don't really know all the differences. That to say that anger is mainly from the wood element. So if you think about burning, right?
Yeah.
The wood element in the liver, and combining it with excess desire of the heart, which is the fire element. So if the excess desire of I want it to be the way I want it,
all right,
and then the lack of acceptance, that actually starts the fire, and then the wood feeds the fire.
Right.
And then it can get out of control. It becomes like a forest fire, you know, versus anger, in my opinion, is meant to say, okay, something here is up. And we have that initial anger, and that can be used to broaden our awareness. It can be used to say, okay, was I just harmed? You know, the observation, the scientific way of looking at it can come in so that you can decide what assertive action do I need to take to either get myself safe, say what I need to say so that my point and my perspective is understood. How do I do that in a way that the other person can hear? And if you're just yelling and screaming or blaming or shaming, we're not going to get very far, because you can't hear me because I'm blaming you for whatever, and I feel justified.
Yeah, self-righteous anger.
I think all anger probably is self-righteous anger. But that idea of how to rebalance the elements and how to be in acceptance of the situation, notice, okay, this is what's happening. I feel anger rising in me.
Yeah.
What are the real factors?
Yeah.
What is the past traumas that might be present now? Yeah. What could be informing my decision making?
Right.
How can I, and that's that discernment, right? To be able to admit, oh, this reminds me of that one time, but it's not that one time.
Right.
It's now. We're now. And the fact that I just said this reminds me of that one time should help me remember that I'm bringing my old trauma into this scenario.
Right.
And so, adapting has to do with being able to see how we ourselves are bringing along our past with us, and then how we are, lighting the wood with our, I want it this way, and I'm not getting it the way I want it, therefore I'm going to have a forest fire.
Yeah.
And being able to witness that, being able to say, okay, well, what will help me put these elements back in balance?
Yeah, right. I mean, one way of looking at it too is like the media is like throwing gasoline on our individual forest fires, right? And spreading it. And so just as far as getting back in balance, maybe being more, going on a media fast. Right now, I'm on a media fast. Today is day 3 of my media fast. I'm glad I'm on it. And it's been a struggle, of course. It's like I always want to, what about this? What about that? I want to check it. But for me, it's like no social media. I'm completely staying off of YouTube and just everything, all the media, zero. I'm just fasting and seeing how long I can do it for. And ideally, I want to stay with it for 2 weeks this time. We'll see. And I mean, it's just important to realize when we talk about this adaptability and self-righteous anger, and I don't think all anger is self-righteous anger. I think there are moments of anger when I'm going to defend myself, and that's not self-righteous. I'm not like, I have the right to defend. No, I'm just going to do it.
Oh, okay.
Self-righteous anger is, I have the right to be angry. I have to be angry. If I'm not angry, I'm not paying attention. That's all.
So it's like defending the anger is self-righteous anger?
So, yeah, it is. Well, and it's just a type of anger. Oh, I feel dissed, so I'm angry, or I don't know. It's more of it's a philosophy. Self-righteous anger is a philosophy that keeps us stuck in anger. Mm-hmm. Well, if somebody tries to do something to me and I react, and then it's done. I react out of anger, maybe, and effectively like push somebody out of the way because somebody's coming at me or something like that.
Okay.
And then it's done, and then I can let the anger go. Instead, self-righteous anger is like clinging to it intellectually.
Oh, okay.
And how can we not cling to anger intellectually? I believe is media fasting is a good idea, but also just engaging with the ideas of forgiveness. Mm. The idea that we're all divine beings having a temporary human experience, and we're all messed up. Mm-hmm. I mean, collectively, we're all kind of confused, and we all have our issues, and we're just cutting other people slack. And another aspect of anger, too, is that if I'm in the habit of being angry at all these other people, guess what? When I make a mistake, that anger turns inward because my mind is in the habit of anger and judgment. So I'm going to be angry and judgmental towards myself. Then my self-esteem is going to get lower down, or I'll have lower self-esteem. And when we start engaging with lower self-esteem, that's disabling as well. Mm-hmm. We're engaging in a bunch of negative self-talk. And so, and just throughout history, the masses have been manipulated into being angry at each other, while the super uber elites benefit from it. I mean, you can even, let's just rewind into, let's look at World War I, where, one prince got assassinated, and then countries start taking taking sides, who they back, and then the medias promote this idea of the upcoming war, and like the masses are basically celebrating the war that's going to be coming, and they're like signing up and happy, and or a lot of the masses, because the media is promoting it, and the uber elites, of course, are running the media, and then boom, the war explodes, and it's just hell. It's hell on everybody, and it's the fire just rages over over Europe.
Cultures, yeah.
Millions of people die, and then the war's over, and then the anger just rekindles for World War II. And again, the media plays the role, and the German media is telling people, the Russians are, subhumans, and this group is subhuman, and that group is subhuman, and we need to do, and enough people believed in that, enough people believed in it, that it just spread as well. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we really do need to evolve past that, and we will evolve past that eventually, and I hope now's the time.
And this kind of goes back to adaptability and evolution,
yes.
And the idea that it is a conscious choice, I know is hard for some people to understand or even allow themselves to contemplate. I've been in debates with people who say the only evolution there is through viruses and bacteria making our cells evolve, and it doesn't actually work until generations have gone by. But I feel that it's fairly evident that a person can evolve, and you see it when, say, somebody is in prison and all of a sudden they decide to look at a Bible, and then voila, they're a new person because they've found this connection with this book and this religion, and they have a new way of looking at life.
Yeah.
They're just a completely new person.
Yeah, it's like their mindset has completely shifted.
Yeah.
And that is an evolution.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a conscious evolution that can happen from one individual. And if you add that by millions, because
Yeah.
I really do feel that there are a lot of people that are in this zone of becoming adaptable, looking at their conditioning and saying, why do I even believe this?
Yeah.
And that questioning of belief. I don't know where that lands in the things that we've said, if that's discernment or what it is,
Yeah,
but
it is discerning.
to really just question, why do I believe this? When did I first believe this? Does this belief still fit me? Have I changed? Has the situation changed?
Yeah.
It becomes this new opportunity to shift into, what beliefs do I want?
Right.
And are those beliefs attainable? That's where I'm at, where I've been working on healing CPTSD for years. I'd say I'm closer than I've ever been. I'm healthier than I've ever been.
Yeah.
And, people who know me have seen me go through this evolution. And ever since I was 17, I said, something's wrong with me. I need to find out what it is. And I started learning herbs and shamanic practices and yoga. And the list goes on.
Yeah.
And eventually really landed with this medical Qigong. But all of the past is with me, all of the things I've learned. And those different modalities have informed me that I have a choice, even though it was really hard at first to even find where the space of choice is. So there's this evolution that I have experienced and can attest to, of being in a zone that doctors say you can't get out of, and training my way out of that zone.
Yeah.
Consciously and purposely.
Well, way to go. Yeah, right.
And I'm not all the way there, but I'd say I'm 80% there.
Okay, there you go.
And I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And that is a testament to evolution.
Well, to your evolving your mindset.
Yeah, and my body.
Well, right.
Well, by evolving my mindset, by evolving how I've trained my body.
Well, you're training your mind and your body.
Right.
Right. And you're trying to take care of your body and your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's...
And it's been really an interesting journey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah,
and we all can do it.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is I had an extreme case.
Yeah.
And I could have used that as an excuse to not do it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But because I had such an extreme case, and because of my personal ambition, I decided I am going to do this. I don't care what I've got to do. I don't care how I've got to train myself. I don't care, And so I just became really dedicated to healing. So there's two other ways to look at this. There's the way where people say, "Oh, I'm an extreme case and I can't." No, I'm effed. Just doctor says it's never going to go away, and that's that.
Yeah, that's that.
And then there's people who don't have CPTSD, but they do have trauma, little t trauma, that adds up and it has affected the conditioning of their mind. And it's harder to look at because it's less extreme. Yeah. And so this can be more difficult to evolve because it's hard to pinpoint exactly what's going on.
Right. Well, that's why I think it's important to just realize, for all of us to really be able to observe how our minds are functioning. Mm-hmm. And one aspect that really holds people back in this world is we overthink. We all suffer from that to a certain degree, or most of us suffer from that to a certain degree. And what is the overthinking mind? Well, what does that mean? It means our mind is chattering away. Chatter, 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 all day, chatter, chatter. Well, Eckhart Tolle calls that compulsively thinking. Mm-hmm. And if we engage in that, we're weakening our minds because our minds are not designed to be computers that just run data.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and even
figure
if a
things
computer
out.
runs data like that, it needs some fans. It needs cooling.
Yeah, and our minds, what our minds need is stillness, moments of stillness. And if we don't achieve those moments of stillness, our minds are going to be agitated because we're overthinking. And then if we're in an agitated place, we're just much easier to manipulate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, it's that manipulation piece where in some way we've been trained to fight against each other and to fight against ourselves. You know, feel insecure. I need this kind of car. I need to look this way. Et cetera, et cetera. You know, we've just been raised to be not peaceful.
Yeah.
Right? And now we have to adapt. Back to the adapting. We have to adapt our own minds and find more peace in our minds. Then it'll give us more clarity. And with that clarity, we're able to just have more resilience, and we're able to have more sovereignty. I guess if my mind is just, let's say the media's mantras, if they are just running through my mind, like during most of my waking hours, I don't have sovereignty.
Right.
I don't have freedom. Right. Because my mind is just like repeating what I've seen and heard, and then I just keep compulsively, obsessively staring at the screens and just taking in that information over and over and over and over. It's like an intense kind of brainwashing, really.
Yeah.
That personally I've noticed in this culture. I first noticed it like in the 90s. I was like, I remember the realization, whoa, we're all brainwashed, you know, walking down the street in Milwaukee, these big buildings. I was like, whoa, everybody's brainwashed. It was really, you know, a profound kind of realization for me. And it helped me to want to train, to find more clarity in my mind. And I mean, but back in those days, it was just the TV, primarily TV, radio, newspapers, you know, magazines, right? Now it's like a different ball game. They've kind of ramped it up.
Constant inundation.
Yeah.
But I do want to pause here for a song, and then we're going to share some skills. And I feel like the sovereignty piece is huge as well. But in our limited amount of time, we'll see what we can share with you. And enjoy this song, and we'll be back sharing tips in a moment. You who are the source of all illumination, please illuminate also my heart, so that I too can do your work. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitovarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitovarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitovarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitovarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitovarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitovarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that. We have music to jog the mind a little bit.
Free the mind.
Stun the mind. Whoa, wait, what was that? So I feel that it's pretty important to give some skills to work through the cognitive dissonance that can happen when we begin to realize that we actually can evolve, especially if there's been a deep belief that it's not a conscious choice. And
Right.
the idea that it is a conscious choice and we can each individually evolve can create a little cognitive dissonance. So I want to address that. And the first perspective that comes to mind for me is this is from Reality Transurfing and Vadim Zeeland, and is a great modality, a huge book, a huge read if you want to dive into it. And I definitely suggest anyone who wants to evolve themselves, check that book out. And there's a personal mantra in there for anyone who does tend to be angry or wish that things were different than they are. And it's, I get to be me and you get to be you, or they get to be them. So it's this idea that everybody gets to be who they are. And that leads to accepting people. And I feel like for me, this mantra has helped me a lot to just back up when I start getting annoyed with someone, or I feel like my initial fears come up on, is this person going to attack me, hurt me? Am I safe because, of my history? And I have to go, wait, they get to be them. So I don't have to stay here. So if somebody, I'm feeling very unsafe, but they're not actually doing anything, I'm just feeling unsafe, which probably means my conditioning and my trauma is here now, then maybe I just need to remove myself and let them be them.
Well, that's tricky too. I mean, if somebody's behavior is really out of control and they're going around hurting people and killing people and this and this.
Well, sure, but
it's not like, oh, let them be them. And it's like, no,
well, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
But this is meant to be for, I'm annoyed with that person.
Okay.
You know, it's not meant to be like, accept a mass murderer.
Yeah, right.
No, it's meant to be like, I'm annoyed with that person. They are tripping all my triggers.
Yeah.
They need to change. And so when that thought comes up, they need to change. They need to be different.
Yeah.
Then the idea of using this mantra, I get to be me and they get to be them.
Yeah.
So it's not meant to be.
I mean, we all have our sovereignty, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and to like try and take that away from somebody else, unless they're like a danger to, you know.
Right. But what is sovereignty?
It's kind of freedom. It's having the freedom to think and be who we want to be.
Okay.
And think. And it's like, it's when we get into that place of, no, you can't think that. Right. No, you can't think that. We're trying to take their sovereignty away. And from my perspective, it's like, well, we all do ultimately have sovereignty. A lot of us give our sovereignty away by just connecting too much with the media, I think, primarily, and just staying in that bubble then. And then our interactions revolve around what the media is talking about. And, you know, and then we're stuck in that bubble. And I think at that point, we're kind of giving our sovereignty away. But we all have the freedom, I believe, to choose whether we want to keep engaging in this or not. I mean, there are moments when everybody has a moment of, should I like not pay attention to this right now? Or, you know, so we all have these moments, and it's our freedom enables us to either to decide, you know, to give away our sovereignty or to, you know, develop more sovereignty. And it's like, as far as I can see it, I have to accept that people have the choice to be more free or less free or whatever it is, but and also realize that we all create our own karma. Like the energy I'm putting out into the world gets reflected back at me. I mean, I could just speak for myself here. I'm creating my own. To me, there's this perfection that I notice, you know, and I'm. It's not like I can fully understand all of that, but this is like an intuitive thing, and I do believe that the energy I put out into the world gets reflected back at me, and I do believe that's true for other people as well. So we all have the freedom to decide what kind of energy we're going to be projecting into the world, you know, and that starts in our minds, because there's such thing as a collective consciousness and different frequencies that we hook into, which is a whole other subject.
Right.
But for me, it's like if I can hook into a higher frequency and stay there for a while, then I'm projecting that energy into the collective, and that energy will come back or is coming back to me at the moment. And I mean, we're all flawed beings.
Yeah.
And we're amazing. We're all amazing beings.
Yeah.
And
I feel like there's this huge paradox that needs to be just embraced of being here on Earth. That this Earth is the land of paradox, and we need to be able to hold it all. You know, we need to be able to hold that person is annoying and they have the freedom to be who they are.
Yeah, right.
And I am allowing myself to be annoyed, and it's unnecessary because I could be peaceful right now.
Yeah.
And why is there war? And especially when war is supposedly to create peace. And, you know, there's just like all this paradox that's always going on.
Right.
And we can get lost in the judgment of that. And yet,
Yeah.
like with the karma piece, there's the paradox of what I'm experiencing right now could be the karma of something else that I chose to do, maybe mindlessly, maybe on purpose. And now I'm paying the price for it, even though they're not tied together and it's not easy to understand.
Right.
And yet, who am I to judge the ultimate creator energy force that actually creates the karma that I'm going to experience? Like, how can I judge that?
Yeah, right. It's just kind of, and karma too is not as simple as we try and make it out to be. Edgar Cayce talks about, there's collective karma from different cultures, and we all have to deal with that too. And so, yeah, right. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But the most we can do, I believe, is understand that we actually are individually powerful, and to hone our minds and hone our behaviors, try and get more in harmony with the universe.
Yeah.
And just accepting and adapting to what's in front of us.
Yeah.
What's in front of me right now? Do I accept? Okay, I accept this. Now I'm able to move and groove accordingly.
Right. And I feel a huge part of what you're saying is becoming present. Because if we're not present, then that compulsive thinking begins running the show.
Oh, it does.
It drains our energy, drains our life force.
Yes.
Then we're exhausted. Then we're pissed because we're exhausted, because we were thinking about that thing too much.
Yeah.
And then we blame it on the thing.
Yes.
And when you look at nature, does it overthink? Probably not.
No.
And if we want to get better at managing our energy and having energy at the end of the day, then we have to be present. We have to say, this doesn't matter for me in this moment. You know, trying to figure out the karma of the world or why did this... I get stuck in this all the time. I'm always trying to find the meaning and purpose of everything. And then I have to just stop and say, okay, I've been searching for the meaning of this for hours, and I need to just stop and be present.
Yeah, and the presence is the meaning too. It's interesting. Yeah, that stillness, that mind state of awareness, that there's meaning in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because we are beings of this planet, and pretty much most of the beings on this planet spend most of their time being present, besides humans.
Yeah.
Especially
humans in this culture, it feels like to me. But it should be noted, I want to say that it seems as if this life on this planet as a human, it's kind of like a testing planet.
Yeah.
It's a test. And all of us have challenges, and all of us make mistakes, and all of us struggle. Mm-hmm. And so just for us to realize that, it's like, oh, I'm just part of this like giant test in a way.
Yeah.
My life is a test.
Right.
It's like,
and it just is.
Yeah.
So
right.
Don't need to get mad about that, because I've done that. Yeah. I've been like, I'm so pissed that I'm a part of this test. Why? How did I even end up in this situation? Did I vote on this? Did I choose this? And then it's like, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Because it just is.
Let's just accept what is. Here we are. Now let's make the best of it.
Right.
Let's evolve now.
Yeah.
And then we're passing the test.
Yeah.
Oh, I have more kindness today than I did 10 years ago or whatever. Oh, it's improving. You know, I'm developing kindness. I'm developing forgiveness. I'm developing understanding, compassion, benevolence. Think of the idea of benevolence for all, what that actually means. I wish all humans to have less suffering. I wish all humans to to make progress. I wish for all humans to make progress. I wish for all humans to evolve. I wish for all humans to identify the divine within themselves and each other. And I mean, that's like a benevolent perspective that it's an interesting perspective to just try on.
Yeah.
Try it on like a hat. See how it feels.
I feel like it's there's a fine line there, because that goes into the excess desire and the fire element again. And if we get really focused on wishing things were how they're not, we can get out of balance and drain our energy.
No, that's not wishing. That's more just like hoping that people evolve.
That's the same thing. Wishing and hoping that people evolve can go into an unhealthy zone. So
if you're thinking too much, it's always unhealthy. But I think it's healthier to wish that people evolve rather than wishing harm on people.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Because those are the options.
If there's a gradient.
Or you can be in the middle. You can be just neutral and not care. But it's definitely a continuum, where I wish death and destruction on all these people, or I hope they heal. Those are kind of, I hope they heal and make better decisions.
Yeah. Well, just leaving it there and making a prayer, sure. But if then you're judging them on how they're not healing yet and they haven't changed yet, and then
that
it's
can be discerning,
going.
though. That's not. It doesn't have to be judgmental.
Okay.
It's just discerning. It's like, okay, well, they're not ready. This is a test.
Yeah.
Most likely they'll have another life, and most likely we'll have other lifetimes if that's how it works. We don't know.
Feels like it. That's how it works. But I do want to get to a skill before our time is through. And besides the perspective, which is a skill, but an actual skill that Monty and I have been working on a lot lately, that we've actually been working on for at least a decade, but I go in and out of it. And right now I'm in it very deeply. And that is Soham. And Soham means I am that. And it's acknowledging the divine within yourself.
Yeah.
That connects with the divine within everyone. That connects with the divine in all creation. So Soham is a very potent and ancient mantra. And the simple directions are, as you inhale in your mind, you say so. And as you exhale in your mind, you say hum. So it's a very internal practice that nobody has to know you're doing.
Oh, yeah. Top secret.
Yeah. And it's great.
It is.
I do it while I'm driving. I do it while I'm resting after I get home from work. I'll just sit there and do some Soham.
Yeah. I do it when I'm walking a lot. Even just walking, or down the hallway or whatever. It's breathing in, so exhaling, hum. Postural awareness. You can work that in too. And it's great because it is a reminder of who we really are. If you can, just keep it. It helps keep things into perspective. Once I realize that I'm just like, a spiritual being having a temporary human experience, everything lightens up. It's like, I'm just like a vapor, just here very temporarily. I'll do my best. I'm going to make mistakes, but if I can keep progressing, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is possible that when you find yourself getting irritated, you Soham.
Yes.
Or
just use it before you get irritated.
Oh, yeah, right?
Preventative medicine is a big deal.
Yes.
We just don't need to be reactive with our mental health. It's like, no, let's just get into that place of peace immediately and just try and hold it as long as possible. And then when we're not there, just come back to it.
And I like to work with it as I'm falling asleep. I like to... The other piece of Soham that is true or can be true in the practice is imagining the words wherever you need them. So say your back hurts and it's annoying how much it hurts. So you lean back supported nicely in a recliner, and breathe into the pain. And bring the so into the pain, and bring the hum, imagining the hum is releasing the pain like a vapor off your back. And I like to work with that one, or working with it with any of the energy centers in the body, or a place of pain, a place of illness.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it's really a great way to acknowledge it, and also kind of wish it well in a detached way.
Yeah.
And it really does work too. I've definitely, like I shared before, I'm really into the classical Chinese medicine. And so I coach people to actually bring it into the place of imbalance. So say you're really fearful and you deal with fearing for your safety a lot, and your kidneys probably hurt, and that's like the middle of the back. And so you bring in so hum to the kidneys, and imagining that the inhale of the so brings space around the kidneys, and the exhale of the hum is letting go of the holding of the fear.
Okay. Yeah, another way of viewing like mantra work, like Soham, is that when we're engaging with Soham, we're actually taking charge of our internal dialogue, which is,
so important.
Yeah, it is important. Otherwise, the old habits just keep running and running and running, rumination. But if we can interrupt that and just get into Soham, then we're in charge of our mind state, at least for that moment. And what I've noticed Soham being very helpful for me when my mind is too busy and I'm lying in bed at night. And if I try and practice during the day, certainly, but at night, I want to say, perhaps hundreds of times I've had, when I'm having difficulty falling asleep, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my mind will be, if I go into Soham, I can just, a lot of the time, just immediately fall back asleep. It's really interesting because I'll be ruminating, or I'll feel the rumination coming on. This is the best time to do it for me, is I feel it coming on. I feel my mind ramping up at 3 a.m., but with all my worries, and I'll just say no and just go into Soham, and zoom, I just sink back into sleep.
Nice.
Other times I just let my mind go for a while, and then I go into Soham, and then fall back asleep. So it's really been amazing. It's very empowering once you realize that you do have some say over your mind state. And this is a great practice.
Yeah. And
simple.
Monty reminded me of it recently, about 2 weeks ago, and he asked if I would be up for the challenge of doing Soham as much during the day as possible.
Soham challenge.
Yep. So we're going to share that with y'all. We're doing a Soham challenge, and that is just to simply work with Soham throughout the day as much as you can, and really take note. How does it feel? What changes for me? How does it improve my life?
Yeah, just keep coming back to it. It's easy to forget about, but once you develop it as a habit, then your mind starts feeling agitated. You can just kind of naturally go back to the Soham, but ideally using it as preventative medicine for the mind. Just going into Soham throughout the day, keep coming back, and just take note how it affects your state of consciousness and your energy and your ability to function in the world.
Yeah, so that's our challenge for you.
Soham
Take us
challenge.
up if you want to, and we'll touch back on it next month. And have a beautiful and blessed June. It's one of my favorite months of the year. And see how peaceful and present and accepting you can be.
Soham.
Many blessings and much love. Bye, y'all. Feel into your body and notice your breath. Bring your awareness to the heart center, the center of your chest. Feel the sound. Remembering a time of confusion, feeling into that moment. And remember how far you have come since that time in your life. Feel that you have accomplished successfully since that time. Laughed, cried, felt joy and happiness. And sometimes there may be some fear that that time will come again. But remembering that you are here now and it's okay. Hold your heart. Let your heart know that you are there. You're a wiser, stronger, more mature, and resilient. And feel your breath. Feel your heart. Breathe deeply. Feel as if you are acknowledging, patting yourself on the back, breathing deeply, feeling the gratitude of being here in this present moment, not in the past. Moving forward on your path. Many blessings.